seem well like you will this time.
Right.
With that, I seem well like his will.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not
Look. Many facts.
Bendy ones, isn't it?
It's only got a really good side.
Disconnect the nut bolts while I do it, and then binding down myself.
The jewellery down there. What's that?
When I was at Leicester Skills Centre, quarter-inch sockets and
And the box full. No. One of the jewellery boxes. Yeah.
the other place is saying too.
Well, yeah, because you're not going to see him again.
Well, I think unfortunately he's the best of a bad bunch, isn't it?
Oh, is that one of them big bikes?
Alright. It's out of the way, alright.
Alright.
I should this way. Look, what's this?
Things with bikes, isn't it?
No, you said you wanted one there, what just to leave? Yeah, because you leave the air out. Dad.
One's dad.
Yeah, only easily. That one, it wasn't much bigger than that, it was a far thing.
You've got any small 8mm socket sets, have you?
Any?
Small 8mm socket sets?
Half-inch drives, small sockets.
What, are you on an 8mm socket? 8mm, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you get the set. I'm
small
not sure
set.
if it's an 8, it's tighten my battery fan, but if you've got a little half-inch socket set all together.
You'd be better. Half-inch is really big for 8mm.
I mean, sorry, quarter-inch.
Yeah,
quarter-inch.
Quarter-inch. I'll show you what we've got.
Yes,
Yeah, but it's all in millimetres now.
you know, that's the drive.
With a ratchet, or do you just want the sockets?
Oh, that'll do. Got that bit to come in the side.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
You get the ratchet, the extension.
Then we've got one here. Complete thing that's
Did it
sealed.
take?
Yeah.
Well, let me show you what they'll take.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah.
Short and long. Sockets.
Yeah, that'd be handy with the
Flexi.
and the long.
And the short and the long, what's this as well? So
That's
that one.
electric, yeah.
That one, it's only got short reach sockets, it's got bits.
Yeah, I'm not so bothered about that.
Yeah, it's probably better off with that.
That one's better.
That one's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That one of them, please.
Yeah.
Take a card for you. Yeah.
Yeah, four pounds.
What are you looking for? Punches? Yeah, the little punch sets.
Far corner. Football, far corner.
One over there, Dad, look. On the corner, look.
Sets on go. Did you want to go with your bike? It's better than my bike. It's stronger.
Would you have a...
Do you have a talker open at bike house? We have various. Let me show you what we've got. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very small on that one, didn't they?
I've got different vents, extension bits, which is handy.
Yeah.
Are you ready, gentlemen? You get out.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I found one in the drawer the other day.
That's why I mentioned it.
Bad days.
Oh, my good days.
I didn't do bad days, I said.
Good days. Good for me. Bad for you.
Was he not to go to school? He never tells me.
Well, we've got mixed up with that, we've got his name now, but
Major Stocker.
Stockers. I'm digging the garden to make a rock with him. So it's a good. He buried it in the garden.
Got grassed up and I died it. Where's Michelle gone? Michelle!
This is a fascinating subject all on its own. The whole idea behind it is the very, very great just have a look at what's coming past me now. Absolutely stunning. This would have been a road locomotive, heavy haulage, etc. And just truly wonderful Prometheus. Absolutely wonderful. That will be a 6-inch scale. This whole thing about scale is very much, some engines it sort of doesn't make sense because they're smaller or bigger. But of course, remembering that the original engine, there were some enormous engines, so that's where the discrepancy comes from. You're imitating a smaller engine with a bigger scale, you end up with absolutely wonderful. very, very popular design of the steam story because for various reasons very much easier to remember these engines. They were actually whereas the full-size steam engines so very impressive display we've got there. First of all, full-size engines coming in green. Mr. Herring there with a wonderful, wonderful engine. Absolutely fabulous represented. And I think even the most avid man of steam will tell you they are something so these guys are very preoccupied with keeping the engine clean, preserving it, and absolutely wonderful display. The other thing to remember with the steam is that, of course, you don't just jump on it and off you go. These will need to have been lit probably 2 or 3 hours ago to get them up to speed. And it's amazing. You imagine your working day starts at 7 o'clock. That makes it This one is known as a compound, and compound is all about the fact that you're recycling the steam. So the steam will come out of the boiler, high pressure, low volume, and then it goes into a second chamber, which is low pressure, high volume. And that was essentially a way of getting more power, more energy out of that ton of coal. Because don't forget that steam engines were very much working tools that were essentially jobbing. They were a contractor's machine, so they may be on duties on farms, driving thrashing boxes, that sort of thing in the autumn. Then they would move on to saw benches or quarries or heavy haulage. So most of these full-size engines will have been earning a living for the better part of 100 years. So I think we will go and talk to some of these guys now. Absolutely fascinating to see, and some tremendously capable engineering, because most of these guys have actually made some are completely scratch built. Start with 7 lamps of the machine and everything. So we're going to talk to them now. Got a full-size engine coming in the ring now. very much for being here this weekend. Wonderful. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Showman's Engine is just incredible, the concept behind that, because essentially you use fusion to draw the fairground rides, etc. And then when you arrive at your destination, it turns into a genset. Very, very clever use of the technology. Now this is compound, so we said earlier about compound engines being essentially that they recycle the steam, so you get 2 bites of the cherry. This is absolutely glorious to look at. I mean, it's almost an art form, isn't it? You must be so pleased with how that's stirred out. You're just the pilot, really, then. Yeah. Well, now, fantastic. Great to see you and the missus. Wonderful fun, you guys. Thank you very much for being here this weekend. Every day is a school day. Do you know that, ladies and gentlemen? It's an old saying, but my goodness, it is very, very true. I'm on the learning curve here, sir. Now, tell me what we've got here, because this is fantastic. It's a time school from North Yorkshire. It's pretty wonderful. Now, some of these exhibits here are kits, but absolutely yours is not a kit. Not further built in District 2012, we got set to drawing to these, we built it from scratch. That is just extraordinary, that's just a throwaway line. Always fantastic, and you're great fun and marvellous to have to see on the show. So well done you, and as I say, your enthusiasm means we get to see them, so thank you very much. Now moving on, I have to tell you that this is my favourite. This I think is absolutely stunning. Again, similar stable to these previous two. This, I suppose we could call this a cricket pitch roller. So tell me what we've got here.
So we've got a Barton Perkins 1926 cricket roller, as you say. It's 2-speed petrol.
I mean, it just sort of does things for me. I think it's absolutely lovely. Pretty rare, I would say. I mean, I do not see very many of these. So this essentially, in simple terms, the steam is external combustion. This is internal combustion. Quite user-friendly, quite a sensible little thing to use. Lovely to see, I would suspect very rare. So thank you so much for bringing it. And I see you've got some helpers here with you. Well done you, thank you so much, madam. That's lovely to see that. Isn't that smashing? But perhaps not as nice as what we got here. So what have we got here? This is a 6-inch barrel trench engine built by Phileas at Warrington. Again, just the visuals of it up close, it is really something.
We'll be over.
Yeah, I like it. Sensible size, big enough that we can all fit on it, but still easy to go. Well, wonderful to see you. Thank you very much for being here this weekend, because although this is much more manageable, it's still a project to get this here. It doesn't just sort of come in your handbag, does it? No, it doesn't, no. Assuming you knew you were coming round the ring at this time, so what time were you getting going this morning? It'll take about an hour to walk up. Again, glorious to see. Thank you very much for being here this weekend. Wonderful. Afternoons, guys. No. Hello sir, what fun to see you again. How much fun have we got here? Because this is wonderful. Is this is different to what you came round with yesterday?
No, same engine. Oh, we had the water car, yeah. But not today.
So tell me what we got here.
So we've got a half-scale Marshall traction engine built by my granddad, Phil Ives. It was one of 3 built from the Fox Solids one.
Right, I mean, and again, just that attention to detail, it almost defies logic, the effort, time and trouble that people went into to get them to look like that. Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, it was a credit to him really, so.
And this is still great job. No. Well, my goodness, what a fitting memorial to him, because the engineering skills that these guys had is just extraordinary, isn't it?
Steve knew he couldn't like read or write. He just went in his shed and he put on the lathe and how come that?
My God. Well, if he'd ever learned to read or write, what on earth would he have made then? Spaceships, I should think. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Brilliant. So now we move on to our magnificent full-size engines. We have 3 engines here today. This amazing Marshall that comes from the incredible Alan Eaton MBE. And this is Moonlight Rumbler. Again, very much a local engine. They drive in here from Cretan. Quite an interesting engine, has a heat exchanger on it. So this is the sort of add-on after the whole compound engine idea. Marshalls or Gainsborough, of course, a very, very famous name, went on to make Marshall tractors. That is a pretty stunning example and beautifully presented here today. Next we have an Altin compound engine, again very, very local to this area, made in Northampton. Altins were quite highly regarded. They were a good quality engine, and if you think that this thing is probably 100 plus years of age, that longevity for a mechanical machine is really incredible. So, this one I think has a history, and like we always say, if only they could talk, they would tell a story or two. This engine originally was going to go to Australia, but somehow or another missed the boat and has stayed in the UK all its life, which is extraordinary. This gentleman who's brought us this is sort of almost my next door neighbour, so it's a particular pleasure to see you guys here this weekend. Now this doesn't just sort of parachute in. How have you brought this here?
By low loader.
Bit of a lightweight, isn't it? Because some people have to drive the blinking things here. It's so nice to see you here. Beautifully presented. I can see the cleaning rag in your hand. I mean, every steam engine enthusiast will tell you that they are a messy bloody thing sometimes. So to have them as clean and beautiful as this is amazing. So well done you. Family weekend out. You can read, I can't. Just about, yeah. There was only 220 tractors in Spain, in Northampton, and there's only 20 employed in this country now. Most of them went down to the southern hemisphere in Australia. This one was meant to go, but it never went, and it went employed Arthur Hepper in Haddenham in 1924, and in 1938 put them to Brinton Rickards and Fairford. And then he went to Charles Rickard, saved the company and ran it until his death in 1972, and then he went into Redway. So a guy called Dougie Charlotte in Yarmston. It was named, so we believe, Little Mo after American tennis star Maureen Connolly, which Mr. Rickard was an avid tennis. I mean, it is fascinating to hear that history, because most of these engines in the the sort of early 1960s, end of the 50s. They lived on a knife edge, and some of them fell one side, they fell into the preservation movement, and some of them fell the other side and unfortunately were scrapped. So we are so lucky to see these engines here. And this enthusiasm and commitment that goes on means that we get to see night shows, and so we owe you guys a huge debt of gratitude for being here, for keeping them up together. Fantastic. Thank you very much. We want some central heating out here, don't we? Yes. Now, Tom. So we've already heard about one Olchin. This is another one. Now, this belongs to the wonderful Alan Eaton, MBE, and his family. Tell me a little bit about what goes on getting to the shows. We have pre-run everything, the road run out, IndyCars, make sure we know where the fire hydrants are, where the local pubs are, lunch obviously. We travel everywhere by road, putting most of the engines that are here today of Alan Eaton are both driven on the road everywhere. I mean, again, that is just a throwaway line, only driven here, but that is hours and hours of not grief, that's the wrong word, but it doesn't happen by accident. There's a lot of effort goes into getting them. Yeah, so we say it's well fun to get them here, rather than the show. You just don't know what's going to happen out on the road, as we demonstrated here with the Olchin. Because it took a bit longer than you thought it was going to. Yeah, 6 breakdowns, I mean. But we still love it, we enjoy it. It's great to be back out. I mean, so at this enthusiasm, these guys, it's just amazing. Thank you so much, Tom. Great fun at these shows, always enjoyed to see you. Thank you very much. Now, my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, look at that for a lineup. Absolutely extraordinary. Now, one of these party pieces we love to do with the steam engines is we like to hear those whistles. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1, blow those whistles!
ain't no flavour. Right. It's a sack, buddy.
Thank you.
that John Deere are. Absolutely stunning to see that tractor here. 1950s American, loosely known as a Prairie Buster, a real monster tractor. Another of these lovely field marshals. Just look at the quality of that restoration, ladies and gentlemen. That tractor, believe it or not, you can start with a shotgun car, which you put it in the front of there, you wind the piston right up to the top dead centre, hit the cartridge, bang, and off it goes. Multi-fuel as well. Just look at the quality of restoration. This magnificent grey Fergie coming past me now. 4-cylinder diesel with an incredible restored Ferguson trailer on the back. Real work hard to see those two together. Absolutely glorious to see. I think you'll agree with me, ladies and gentlemen. What an eyesore of tractors. Absolutely astonishing. To see this amount of enthusiasm and commitment from these guys. The field in the middle of nowhere in Northamptonshire to put a display on one of these pretty incredible. So we don't talk to some of the drivers now because it's really only by talking to them we can get an insight into some of the history of some of these tractors. I think there's probably 50 plus tractors out here today. If I'm quick, I'll get you the photograph. Hang on, hang on. Smile. Fantastic. I don't charge for appearance, please. Curse me. Curse me. Now, the lovely Kirsty, my goodness me, the first time I saw your tractor, I thought, my goodness, on the front, so put a pound or two in there because an amazing lady and an amazing tractor and a really amazing good cause. So well done you, great pleasure to see you again. On the subject of good causes, my goodness Ryan, now it is such a pleasure to meet you this weekend because we're busy promoting what you're going to do, which by any standards I think is a pretty incredible achievement. So just tell everybody, what are you up to?
I got built in 1954, built in Birmingham, before I went up to Mark 1864, and in 6 weeks time, basically 6 weeks yesterday, I am going to be leaving Twickenham Stadium in London and driving 5 days, 600 miles, arriving at Forestfield Stadium on the Wednesday time, fantastic. I mean, just an extraordinary tractor on the farm. I mean, amazing when you, from a historical point of view, we really cannot overstate the importance of these little tractors. Because without these, I think there's around about 350,000 of these made throughout the war. Incredible rationing, shortage of parts and everything. But Ford managed to produce that incredible number of tractors. And there's no dispute about it, there would have been mass starvation in this country without these little tractors. Amazingly, the Women's Land Army, the Land Army girls, this is the sort of tractor they would have used. Now there must have been some good strapping girls amongst them to start one of these blessed things on a cold morning. Not necessarily the most reliable thing in the world, but when it's the only tractor you've got access to, you jolly well made them go. For those of you who don't know, these things start on petrol, and once they're warmed up they turn over onto something called DVO, which today is probably quite like a form of central heating oil. Absolutely wonderful to see that here. This is a pre-war tractor, so we're probably well into 80 years old, if not a touch more. So fantastic to see, and so nice to see you again, sir. A tractor to be proud of, thank you. Now, we move on to Fordson Power-Nation. Now this one has had a bit of a heart transplant because somebody has put a Ford Dorset engine in it. So that was gone from about 42 horsepower, well into the 60 to 70 horsepower. Made a very formidable tractor out of it because the back end of this tractor is so strong. So engineered, and actually works perfectly well with an engine that's basically 1.5 times what it started out. Very, very nicely presented.
Weather station areas are everything in the room.
I got a bit of confusion there. Should I take it off and keep it on? And then when I No. I like that one.
Oh, I like that one. Right.
Can I?
Oh, yep, yeah.
Hold on. Let me put that one back if you want.
No.
Just a minute then. Right.
It changed. You should look at it. Stand in front of it and look. You move left and right. So when we went to Skegness, I got some of the chocolate ones, but I got other ones here. Yeah, if you watch them, Dad, look. You move left and right, they change. No, they change.
It's alright, love. Right, go on.
Right. It's alright, it's fine.
It's alright,
Thanks.
love, we're fine, thank you. Steam oven. Oh, isn't that beautiful?
There you go, toilet. On the floor. You look close. You look freezing. Someone else, is it? Say the weather was going to be good in the afternoon. Dad, you can get around that way. No? Yeah, right. Yeah, that's where we came up.
Stop the other when you get in there.